what? Math, huh? Hey, get him. Mr. F, huh? Math, what?
Hey guys, Deondre 7 here, and today I'm going to be doing something new for you guys. I'm going to be doing this thing called Deondre Reads, and the reason I'm doing this thing called Deondre Reads is because personal friend of mine named Orange. That's his name's not actually Orange, but that's what I refer to him as, because that's like his username on like a lot of stuff. So I call him Orange. But anyway, I'm going to be reading this thing that he actually wrote. It's a book series. It's a book that he's actually writing. It's called Attributes of Hearts. He came up with the name himself. I was trying to help him think of a name, but my names weren't really like cutting it. But he came up with the name Attributes of Heart. I'm actually in the book. I'm going to be reading the first 2 chapters though, so I'm not really in the first chapters. Let me give you a brief description about the book. He actually wrote one for me because I'm not good at explaining stuff. So the story is mainly about teenagers who have to deal with their problems while trying not to let their life get in the way of saving their town from the thing only they can fight. And it's actually pretty good. I've read I don't remember how many chapters. I don't remember how many chapters, but he's written a lot so far, and I actually really enjoy the chapters, like the character developments and everything. It's just perfect. But anyway, let me see if I can find the link he sent me so I can read it. There we go. He sent it to me on OneDrive. If you guys notice, the lighting's a little weird today. I actually thought of something smart. So that lamp I usually have in the background, I decided to put it in the front. One of my viewers said like you should put your lamp behind your camera so you have like a better lighting. So far, it looks like I actually do have a better lighting. But anyway, without further ado, let's read this. But first, let me take a drink of water so my tongue won't get all dry and stuff. Some good water. Alright. Attributes of Heart. And something just dropped. I don't know where it went. Oh, it's right there. Alright. Attributes of Heart. Chapter 1. Kai turned... I'm screwing up already. Kai groaned and toiled in her sleep, gripping onto her blankets tightly. Sweat dripping down her forehead, she lurched up. Her eyes widened. Kai panted. It was just a dream, she mumbled to herself. Kai shivered as she recalled what horrors lived in her dream realm. She remembered a party, and cars, and Mom. Kai got chills down her spine and repressed the thought. She looked at the alarm clock on her desk. 12? I don't normally oversleep that much, Kai grumbled. She reached over to her phone on her desk and took it off the charger. It was hot. She hates that. Whenever someone texted her or called her, it'll always get hot. Even if she wasn't using it, Kai's vision was still blurry from just waking up. She had to narrow her eyes to see what was on the bright little screen. 5 missed calls? What? She narrowed her eyes even more. Alex? She chuckled and rolled her eyes. The boy was cute, but in an adorable little brother kind of way. Kai remembered promising to do something with Alex, but couldn't quite put her finger on what. She yawned widely. Kai stretched as she rolled out of bed. She grabbed her brush on her desk and brushed her hair. She slowly but surely put on her casual clothes, a gray t-shirt, blue jeans, and a green hoodie. Kai opened the door to her bedroom and shuffled to the bathroom to do her business and brush her teeth. After, she found her way to the living room. Kai's father smiled and greeted her as she walked in. He was working on a little machine on a large table. You close to finishing yet? Mr. Smith said he wanted it by Tuesday, Kai asked curiously. Her father's smile faded quickly. Yeah, I am. Definitely. His cheery attitude was suddenly gone. April, Kai's mother, looked distastefully at her husband's clothes. Jerry, please change out of that gross oil-stained shirt. It's disgusting. Jerry shrugged. Well, I don't really mind the stains. It kind of just shows that I work hard. Lets my clients know that I'm a good worker, you know? April rolled her eyes. That's no excuse, Jerry. Don't be lazy. You don't really do anything anyway. You have time to wash it. Kai resisted the urge to curse at her mother. She barely makes a thing. Dad is the one who actually works for this family, Kai thought angrily to herself. Jerry frowned, but nodded and hung his head a bit. Actually believing her. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I get lost when I'm reading. All right. Washing it would be a good idea. April nodded. And while you're at it, take a shower. Jerry sighed and nodded. He went upstairs to take a shower. Kai couldn't be in the same room of this insufferable witch. She marched towards the kitchen so she could leave through the back door. April cut her off and rose an eyebrow. And where do you think you're going? Kai rolled her eyes. To Alex's house? April's glance hardened. Didn't I tell you to stay away from that boy? He's a crackhead. Kai's own glance hardened. He may act stupid, but he's really smart. Besides, you're not allowed to tell me who I should be friends with and not. Wait, hold on. That was horrible. You're not allowed to tell me who I should be friends with and not. April gave out a sound and almost sounded like a growl. That almost sounded like a growl. Of course I can. I'm your mother, Kai snarled. Stepmother. Both females stared each other down. Fine, but don't be coming to me when you find out you've become dumber just by being near that kid. Well, dumber than you already are. April walked off. Come on, Summer. Let's go do something. Any way to get away from that wretched child. Summer was Kai's sister, who had been quiet this whole time. Both April and I almost said silent. April and Summer had the same face, same blonde hair, same thin and mean-looking lips, cold, unfeeling eyes, same stupid-looking ponytail. Summer stuck out her tongue at Kai. Kai simply rolled her eyes and walked out the house. It was way too bright outside. Kai covered her eyes as she slowly trudged to Alex's house, wondering what exactly her whole life was derailed. Wondering when exactly her whole life was derailed. Sometimes I'm not really sure if he means to make a new chapter or not. But usually, actually, here's the thing, Orange, if you're ever watching this, when you end the chapter, make sure you put chapter, what chapter it is on top of when you put those big spaces, because sometimes it's kind of hard to tell if you're starting a new chapter or not. I'm just saying. But anyway, it's time to go to chapter 2. I really hate April, honestly, because she's just stuck up. She acts like she's the master of the house, and I actually really love how orange kind of reflects that. Like, she's sort of a reflection of most like abusive step parents. Like, she's like, they just hate the step kids. They think they own the house when after they move in and everything. Like, they're just ridiculous. But anyways, let's move on to chapter 2, shall we? We're about to meet Alex. Alex groaned. He dropped to the floor of his room, holding his head. Recently, he'd been seeing things, but he didn't know what to make of them. They made no sense to Alex. Kai trying to slice an odd-looking girl in half, a dirty, blonde, depressed-looking kid wearing some sort of shield, a tall black kid in yellow fighting a guy with a bamboo stick. If you guys are not sure who that's referencing, this is a wink, by the way. Looks like I'm having some weird spasm, but okay then. Alex himself picking up something that seemed to be a whip. It all made no sense. He saw more. Destruction, collapsed buildings, destroyed landmarks, streets littered with unconscious people. What the heck was Alex? I was about to say Kyle. Who's Kyle? What the heck was Kai seeing? The doorbell ringing was what? Sorry guys. I sometimes get lost while I'm reading. Let's see. The doorbell ringing was what brought Alex back to reality. Alex opened his door to say he'll open it, only to hear the door already opened. Alex groaned and rushed down the stairs to see his little sister showing Kai in. Samantha, you know you're not supposed to answer the door on your own. The young blonde rolled her eyes and readjusted her purple polka-dotted hat. I knew it was Kai. You said she'd be coming over. Alex frowned. But what if it wasn't? Samantha shrugged. Close the door? There was a pause in the room. You're not the boss of me. Wait, hold on. Samantha shrugged. Okay, that was him saying it. I screwed that up. So, close the door? There was a pause in the room. You're not the boss of me, she said. She said it calmly. You're not the boss of me, she said very calmly, not seeming to be mad. Samantha walked off to her room. Alex sighed deeply. He looked at Kai. It's fine. She's still learning, she reassured him. It's not fine. Everyone in her class is scared of her. Kai chuckled. Well, that's not entirely a bad thing. Alex shook his head. For once, I'm serious, Kai. I'm worried about her. Kai nodded in sympathy. No, I get it. I'm also worried about my little sister. She's being so heavily influenced by my mom. And it's not for good. When I first met her, she was a sweet and gentle girl. But my mom is like corrupting her. She bullies me and my dad, and I just don't know what to do. Alex and Kai were quiet for a long moment. Well, there's no use of dwelling over it if we can't do anything, Alex concluded. Kai frowned. I know, but I just feel like we should be able to. Alex shrugged. Kai looked up and bit her lip. There's like I guess there's a typo there because he said and but her lip, but I guess he meant to say bit her lip. Hey, I need to. Alex nodded. Right. Kai rushed upstairs. Don't fall in, he yelled up to her. Kai sat on the couch waiting on her. That's when his mother walked into the house. She collapsed into the couch. should be onto the couch, but whatever. Laying next to Alex. Mom, are you, okay? His mom didn't answer. She just looked up at with Alex with a sarcastic face. Right. How was work? His mom didn't answer. Wait, reading the wrong part. Alex continued. His mom sighed and sat up, yawning and stretching at the same time. Let me fix my hat. Oh crap, what is going on here? Yo, I need to get a haircut back. That is terrible. What is going on? I'm getting distracted. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. It was the same, really. I swear, this one guy came in 3 times, but each time with a different game mustache. The heck? Alex laughed. Well, that sounds funny. His mom kept a serious face. It wasn't. In the end, I refused to keep serving him because that's simply too much food for one guy. I was worried about him. Then he got my manager out. And surprise, surprise, my manager sided with the customer. And guess who got punished for looking after someone's well-being? She pointed at herself with her 2 thumbs. Alex, just let me sleep. It's been a long day. Alex frowned. But I need help with my homework. It's too hard for me on my own. His mom was already half asleep. Just do it. She passed out. Alex sighed. He looked at a photo on a shelf. It was a picture of a handsome man with brown hair holding a small blonde-haired baby. A mother and her son stood beside him. Why? How could you just leave us in the dust like this? He asked as he stared at the picture, as if he was thinking somehow this message would be relayed to the man in the photo. Somehow, Alex's memory was brought back to the visions he'd been seeing. What was up with them? Kai would never, well, most likely wouldn't kill someone. And who was the dirty blonde-haired kid and the black kid he saw? Hold on. Okay, that's a new chapter right there. Sorry, I get like sidetracked whenever I'm a visual person, so if I don't see like a chapter 1, then I don't really, read. I don't really like comprehend that's a new chapter. But anyway, those were the first 2 chapters. So like I said, it's like teenagers dealing with their problems. I like how he's not rushing into things, because I actually am making a book myself. It's called American Eagle. A lot of people say I can't really title it that because of the clothing company, but the clothing company is called American Eagle Outfitters, so I can safely use American Eagle. And plus Marvel, DC, Image Comics, they all made their own American Eagle, so I can use it. It's fair use. But the problem is I kind of rushed the first chapter, so in the second chapter I'm kind of going to actually take my time and do like small details like what Orange did in his book Attributes of Heart. What I do like in Kai's part of the story, it's like she has like a stepmom who's just abusive towards her and her dad, and we later find out in chapter 2 that her stepsister, I believe it was Summer. Hold on. We need to look all the way back because I'm not good at remembering names, guys. Oh crap! What is going on? Why have you done this? Let's see. No, Jerry's the name of her dad. I know it was Summer. Yep, it was Summer. So, we know about, her half-sister Summer because, she used to be like, sweet, gentle, kind of caring a little bit. We don't really see this as like a flashback kind of thing, but she is like, she's stating like she used to be like nice to her, but now all of a sudden her stepmother just like freaking what's the word I'm looking for? Corrupted her, and now she's like turning against her and everything. And it's just like Kai and her dad, they're just the victims. Yeah, they're just the victims of this like sort of like stepmother abuse kind of thing. And you can see how that reflects to like most people who are dealing with like issues with their step parents, because sure, it's kind of a stereotype where it's like step parents are kind of just abusive towards the kids, because I know some step parents, like I know some of my friends whose like parents whose parents got divorced, or like one of their parents died and all that, or like one of the parents, they never actually like married the guy, they just ran off after they were born because they didn't want to like take care of the kid and stuff. And like their step parents are actually like their stepmoms and stepdads and all that, they're actually really cool people. But that's like a stereotype that's like really common, where it's like step parents actually do hate them. But I do know some people where it's like their step parents, they just don't even treat them like they're human beings, and you can kind of see where that reflects on with Kai's life. What I do notice is that in moving on to Alex's story, her mom, she has a hard day at work. I'm guessing she works at a restaurant because she talks about serving a guy food, obviously. So she's probably like a waiter or waitress at a restaurant or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Orange Freely. She usually just has a hard day of work, because let's be real, being a single parent is hard for all of you who have parents who are just single, like they're either widowed, divorced, split up, whatever the situation is. You guys know, like, it's hard for your parents to just work by themselves and everything. It's like they don't even have time to actually cook for you or even help you with your homework. And where that happened in Kai's case, where she couldn't even have the energy to help not Kai, Alex, with his homework. I keep getting those two mixed up for some reason, Kai and Alex. Little sister, Samantha, he stated that kids in her class are scared of her. We don't exactly know why, but, but Samantha is a savage, opening doors and everything, but, his relationship with Kai is sort of like a sibling kind of relationship. They don't exactly have feelings for each other, but they love each other as friends. He sees her as a sister, and Kai sees him as a brother. So yes, I know I pronounce brother weird. I can't pronounce my THs. It's like you have to bite your tongue with it. His problems, I already stated one of them with him being, with his mom being, she's a single mom, and we see him, well, we don't actually see him, but we imagine him when I'm reading, he's looking at a photo of his dad, and he's just mad. He's just like, why did you leave us and everything? Well, it's not exactly stated that it's his dad, but we can safely assume that it's his dad, because he's saying things that a person would say to their dad who's not really around, like, why did you leave us and everything, and blah blah blah. I really love how that actually I really love how Orange is taking like a realistic aspect. This is supposed to be like sort of realistic and like sort of like a fictional kind of thing, and the main genre is mainly like drama, nonfiction, not nonfiction, like sort of like realistic fiction, where it's like you can relate to the characters in a realistic kind of way, but it still has like a lot of fantasy things like, mystical stuff and everything. Another thing that we noticed about Alex, not Kai, Alex has these visions, right? He has like these visions as if he's predicting the future, where we see hold on. I don't want to mess up anything because I'm bad at this stuff. Let's see, Kai. Let's see. Here we go. So we see Kai, where we assume that she has like where she has a sharp-edged weapon, as she stated to be slicing an odd-looking girl in half. A dirty blonde depressed kid wearing some sort of shield. A tall black kid in yellow fighting a guy in a bamboo stick. We should assume who that is. And Alex himself, who has a whip. I love how they have different weapons. Here's sort of like how I view it right now. So Kai, she's like a strong-willed kind of girl, so it would make sense for her to have a sword. And in most media, like mainly in anime, most main female characters are seen using swords or some sort of long-edged weapon, and I actually do like how Orange put that sort of he kept that tradition in his book, or story, whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna call it a book because it's pretty much a book. Has chapters, everything. Alex, he has a whip. I don't really know how to like tie that in with his personality, but I don't think he's like the kind of guy. He's not the guy who would kill. He states that he's like Orange states that he's not the kind of guy who would kill someone. So I don't think Alex would. So Alex isn't that kind of guy who like straight up like chokes someone out with his whip. But he's kind of. I think he can be seen as like sort of like kind of like a protector kind of guy, where he can retrieve things with his whip and everything. Sort of like how Indiana Jones can retrieve things with his whip or something. He can use his whip. I don't know why. I can just imagine him using a whip as like how like Spider-Man kind of like swings on his webs. I can kind of see him. I can kind of see Alex. I can imagine Alex in my head, swinging from like his whip on like tall buildings and stuff. The dirty blonde depressed kid with a shield. I love how it's a shield because you can, and he says like he's like a depressed looking kid. He's sort of like the pacifist of the group, since he has like a shield and everything. I don't know. Usually people with the shield are usually the ones who aren't really for violence, but they have to do what they can to protect other people. So you can safely assume that this person's like, he's the kind of guy who's sort of like the protector of the group, like kind of like Alex, but Alex obviously uses like whip to like retrieve, fight people. The character with the shield, you can kind of see like he can like cover the other characters, like the bamboo stick, the whip, Alex and Kai. He can like, when they're like about to be like shot up by like a monster or something, who knows, I'm just predicting, he can like jump in front of them and like just cover them with their shield, and while the person's like, because like the person could be occupied, he'll just come in while like a person's trying to sneak up on them, like protect them with the shield, kind of like defend them off and stuff. or you can like kind of imagine like Captain America's shield, where you can just like throw it and it comes back like a boomerang and everything. You can kind of assume that. But the boy with the bamboo stick, you can safely assume that he's obviously the one who won't give up, who'll never give up and stuff. Sorry, I got distracted there. Noah does mention that he's like the tall black kid, right? Well, we're not gonna focus on like the fact that he's black. We're gonna notice on the fact that he's tall, but I think the reason he's telling us he's tall is because this obviously is gonna tie into something. He can be like, I don't know how to explain this. So what am I trying to explain here? I'm trying to explain something to you guys, but I don't know exactly how to do it. I got it. You can see like he's sort of like the big brute, but he's not exact. But he has a bamboo stick, so obviously he's gonna be whacking people. Because what else you do with a bamboo stick or a bow staff for some people? He can just jab people with it, like swinging and everything. I don't think these guys are gonna be the guys who like kill. I don't think these guys are gonna be the people who are like up for killing, kind of like how. But Kai, she's more of like the strong-willed kind of girl of the group. Well, she is the girl of the group, but she's slicing someone in half. So I don't think she's really gonna be up for killing, but then again, she's thinking that she's protecting the other people by killing these like villains, such as the odd-looking woman who's referenced in Alex's vision. So I don't think exactly. Oh, dang, it's getting dark outside. I forgot about daylight savings. I'm trying to think right now. Oh, the tall black kid. I think he's gonna be more of like the guy who he does fight. He does fight. He's a pretty good fighter, but he doesn't exactly like kill people. He doesn't exactly kill people. Killing isn't really in his moral code. I do know who the tall black kid is. But when I read his story, you guys are gonna know why I'm thinking like he's not the guy. He's not the type of guy to kill. Like I'm gonna actually explain it, because when I read the next chapter, when I read the chapter that he's included in, you guys are gonna exactly know why. So that's pretty much what I have to say about that. That's pretty much all I have to say, honestly. But then again, Kai's stepmother, what was her name? April. I can sort of see her becoming some type of like powerful villain. I don't know. I don't think like she can be a secondary villain. Here's how I see it. So they're protecting their city from things that only they can stop. So there's obviously like a strong mystical force that they're fighting against, but like the primary villains, and then there's the secondary villains where it's like, bullies, abusive parents, drunk drivers, homosexual people, racist people, stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now, but I'm currently talking to Orange about it, about his book. He's the one who gave me the advice about like the whole American Evil thing. I will probably leave a link to the description down below if you guys want to read his book. I'm probably gonna ask his permission for it first, because I don't want to be like I don't want to just like unknowingly just put it in and like he's like, oh no, I don't want people to read it, or something like that. Because so far, me and some other friends that me and Orange know, we sort of read the book, and we all love it. Well, I don't know if the other two people that he showed the story to love it, but I love it. I every time, like, I am anticipated to like freaking read like his next chapters. Like, whenever he drops it, I want to see, mainly like my character. As I mentioned, I am in the book. I always love to read my character's story. Maybe because it's sort of like an egotistical thing. Like, I just like reading about myself. You can say it's sort of narcissist. I know it sounds like I'm a narcissist, but I do care for other people. But my character story, he says it's the long one, and so far it's kind of the one that has the most character development in it, which I don't want to feel like the attention seeker in it, but it's like, because I know I'm obviously not the main character. I think there is no true main character. They're all four of the characters who are mentioned. Crap, I think I just spoiled it, but I'm obviously a main character if I'm in the book. So, I think it's like there's no true main character, but like the main people who are mentioned, like whose like main stories are like talked about and all that, they're like their own main character. But anyway, I don't want this video to be this video is already long enough. It's probably like 20 minutes long by now, because it was just me talking about the review. It was me reading and then reviewing about the 2 chapters. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna end it off right here. So, yeah, I'm gonna end it off right here. So, if you guys enjoyed this, if you guys enjoyed this Deondre Reed's kind of thing, make sure you comment down. Make sure you like it if you want more, because you guys already know what you have to do if you want me to like more stuff. If you like more stuff, to read more stuff like this. If you guys want me to continue the whole Deondre Reed stories, make sure you comment down below and like. You guys already know what you have to do. Like and comment down below. Like, yeah, you can probably do this whole reading thing. And make sure you subscribe for more videos like this. I also do, for those of you who are new to this channel, I do reactions, cartoons. Occasionally I do skits. And I'm currently doing this reading thing. That's pretty much all I have to say. So, oh yeah, I will ask Orange if I could put his story in the link in the description so you guys can go and read it off. But, if he says no, I respect that. If he says yes, then you guys are gonna get to read ahead of me. But, and you guys will get to find out who this tall black kid is. And I'll probably leave my, Wattpad story in it, because I do have a Wattpad. I just don't really talk about it. But I will be leaving that down in the description down below too, so you guys can go ahead and read the American Eagle. I was gonna edit it to try and change up the details, but I'm kind of lazy, and I'm kind of working on like the character descriptions right now. So it's like, so I can describe the characters when I'm actually telling the story, if you guys know what I mean. So yeah. But anyways, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Deondre 7, out!